Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar. Today's topic is Fortifying remote access lesson from recent RDP exploits. So we analyze how attacks exploit remote access tools and how we can prevent that from those attacks with Cybele. Okay, first of all, welcome to the webinar, and we will talk about some recent cybersecurity incident focused on the RDP protocol, and we will talk about how we impact that. So I think some of them you may be very familiar or not that familiar, but anyway, the RDP as a target for attack and a source of problem, and then vulnerabilities is never stop. So last year we have a spear phishing campaign, which is targeting a certain organization, sending an attachment of RDP files. Then they lure the people to open it and then to have an attack. So which is very, very interesting way to penetrate. And 223, there's a review that 95% of attacks using RDP. So no matter is the initial or the attack, or there's an upcoming activity that related to RDP. So it's 88%. Some report actually 95%. So it depends how you calculate the percentage or the figures-based data you have. But simply telling you that majority of the attacks will involve using RDP. So that's why some organization will ban using RDP, or at least there's allow a incoming or even outgoing RDP connection to the corporate network or the cloud. And 222, there's a quite, I still very remember that there's a quite a few our customers really affected by attacked by ransomware, which through their RDP open to the internet or through VPN. So don't think you have a VPN and you are safe. No, it's not. Yeah. And then the pandemic, in the old days, in pandemic, now it becomes our old days. Or pandemic, people using remote access a lot, and one of that is RDP. Well, that's also a indication of loss of cyber criminal exploit using those RDP. So it's hand in hand, 2022 and 2023, 222. And much more earlier, 2019, but it do still there because there's a vulnerability called bootkeep, which you can penetrate without the credential, and you can access to the server or desktop. Well, luckily it's more on older OS, but you should know that there's still many Win 7, even Win XP or Windows 2000, Windows 2008 still there, and they still turning on RDP. So that's why we are here, right? Because RDP is not that easy to get rid of. You need remote access or management, but actually you can use some tools to safeguard it or translate it to other protocol. So let's talk about more about the 2024 cases. So there is a targeting attack to government and IT sector. They're sending them RDP files. Then the attacker gain the unauthorized network access. So it is really, really dangerous to open a unauthorized or unknown RDP files, because RDP file is not just a IP address and also the port for RDP. You can include credentials, you can include gateways and many local resource mounting configuration. So you can simply include too many things there. And some vendors will include a like scripts or others. So you can imagine how dangerous it can be. So it just a little bit better than PowerShell, but PowerShell you by default now is blocked for unsigned PowerShell file, but RDP we don't have this protection. So in case the customer or the user open the RDP file, because any Windows desktop they already have the MSTRC application, so you will open up and fire up the remote access connections. So that can be very bad. So for lesson learned from this case, first of all, why you allow people receive RDP files as an attachment to your email. So do some filterings, not just block the exe or block the DLL. You should only allow certain file extension. And you may think about doing out EDR to monitor all the RDP and other remote access connections. And you can should able to dig out any others remote access tools, not just RDP, because sometimes you will see a same computer, they have Google Chrome Remote, they got Spreadstop, Anydesk, TeamViewer, all on the same computer. So how open it is, that can be very bad. And MFA is nowadays is mandatory should be, or essential, or very important to must have, especially any public facing address that you allow user or third party to access. So simply using password, it just yeah, too loose to let everyone in. Even you got MFA, it doesn't mean it's safe. But if you don't have MFA, it's really bad, right? Forgot to mention that if you got any question, comment, or others, please type in the chat or on the question box. In case I see it, I will answer it right away or during the last Q&A sections. You guys cannot turn on the mic because this is a webinar. Yeah, please help. Please let me know if you got any questions. Yeah, let's go on. So the other two, the second one is numbers. Now there's 90. Okay, so because from different report. Anyway, it says high percentage of attack as a entry point, or is a way to plan ransomware. So it do tells us RDP is really dangerous, open to the internet, or we should avoid it if possible. So limit the RDP access to VPN user or any other means with strong authentication. Monitor the logs and disable the RDP is not necessary. And if you use full Microsoft solution, you may think about using the RDP gateways. Is help a little bit. But today we introduce other tools. You need not to broaden the gateways because it's not that easy to use actually. By my opinion, yeah. Someone may be very familiar and like you very much, but anyway, disable then unnecessary LDP or never open LDP to the product directly. That seems to be key points. So is there any tools that can help to help us to have a more secure way to remote access on no matter about desktop or a computer or a server or another things that, yeah, of course. So today I will introduce Infinity Remote Workspace, which is a secure remote access solutions that we only open HTTP, that means HTTPS. We use a HTML5 based clientless connections. Of course, we include MFA by default. So imagine you need not to open RDP to the internet anyway. User logging in through web console with normal browser, because in any modern browser now we support HTML5, and we can stream the remote control screens through HTML5, and we can ensure the security by HTTP filtering, MFA, and WAF or load balancer or whatever. So it's a relatively safe. So far, HTTPS is relatively much more safe protocol, right? Of course, still many people abuse it because the port very likely to be open. But yeah, the thing is not today's topic. So first of all, let's talk about how Infinity can mitigate the RDP risk. First of all, we have proper authentication, we have MFA, we have some policy that you can safeguard your remote control, and we have more granular access control to user permissions. At least we can filter out like mount the local drive. Some even don't know that RDP can mount local drive. What it means, if I connect through RDP, I can mount my client-side hard drive to the server, to the target remote access server on there through RDP. So I can copy and paste any data very, very easily. And even you didn't mount drive, you can still copy and paste file in or out through RDP protocol. So it is really, really convenient and user-friendly. But on the other hand, it's extremely dangerous. If someone have too high privilege or haven't access to many confidential information, they can copy all your data out to their local computer without any further verification, because we have the access to the local computer already, right? So with Infinity, you can block those copy and paste or even mounting printers. Yeah, you can do for RDP. So we can remove it or allow it, and isolate users from natural movement, because we are only allow you to access your computers, and we don't allow you to cross the sections or network of the remote access. So it will remove or mitigate the problem of lateral movement through RDP. Yeah, so there's some more about the Infinity. It's start from 2022. We have many offices worldwide, many of corporate customers. Yeah, so it's short. So what we can do, first of all, we serve, or we can serve, okay? So we serve enterprises, MSP, data center, SME, any size of users. If you are using IaaS, PaaS, private cloud, it also can support any industry, any teams. It can be IT team, security team, product team, or operation team that they may need remote access capability, right? Because we don't expect user to climb up a few stairs to just install a software for some users. So at the end of the day, we still need remote access solutions. And we have many use cases. Some I think number one we should consider is to implement the zero trust network architecture. That and adopting Affinity can help you to do most of the zero trust network architecture, the authentication, the MFA, the granular and the network segmentation, granular permission, continuous monitoring, all of that. Yeah, and some user want to like make it as a RDS alternative. As I mentioned, we shouldn't open to the internet, or even you are using Citrix or VMware and other VDI, you may think not necessary to have a full desktop. We just expose a software, then you can use Vivinity. Yeah, there's many others, but I won't go through all of that. In case you interest through the PowerPoint, you want to copy, please send us an email. We will share with you. So the core essence of the Vivinity is secure remote access. Okay, so we allow you to remote access your application or desktop or website or internal web applications to mitigate the risk for exposure and align with your compliance, and reduce license costs, because some license by endpoints, then you put it in a server that is shared with users with accountability. That can be great, and you can save some money, right? And we have a very flexible architecture, so you can scale up your application and the remote access server very easily. So it doesn't, you don't need to worry about how many users we can support it with a proper hardware level support. Yeah, but like just back to the pandemic, suddenly find that the firewall, many customer can find, oh, my firewall doesn't work if more than 10 users connecting the VPN, but they just go to the maybe the on-prem server for ERP, so they may need to buy a additional hardware or use some cloud VPN, but at the end of the day, it's not that easy to fulfill. Yeah, so using Affinity is an option. Well, I don't think we can go through too much detail on that for those use cases and scenario. So what the Affinity Workspace do? Yeah, it's very simple. You can make user to access your applications, you can manage it easily, and you can provision like we also support VDI actually, so you can provision the VM or what is it, RDP sections with Affinity. So this is how the Affinity Workspace looks like. After user login, you will see, okay, what kind of application they can launch. It can be a Excel, Word file, or some Illustrator. Team is a little bit tricky. Although we support pass-through for the audio and video, but there's a very typical questions, because I don't know why, but many people would prefer to remote back to their desktop and then have the Teams meetings, maybe because of permission, maybe because of the control that they cannot run the Teams or Zoom in their remote computers. So they will run it on the desktop, desktop at the office. Then you will need to provision it through the Vinvidi. So here you can see we can do the zero trust access on desktop, on application, terminals, and file. And the Vivinity can deploy on-prem and your public cloud or your private cloud. And we also support VDI and on cloud VDI. So if you got a DAS requirement, you can use Vivinity as the front door. It help you to manage the images and the VM in your in your DAS platform, maybe Azure, maybe AWS or Google or any others virtualization platform, because it's at the end of the day we just manage VM for you and handling the imaging. And in the front, we provide the remote access. So this one, I forgot to mention, this is a browser, right? You can see it's a browser. So that's why I said it's HTML5 client. You just launch with your browser and then access, then you can use all those applications. Of course, if you provision the application, the backend, we are still using RDP protocol, but you can just limit the protocol within your application server and Vifinity server. You need not to open your RDP to any other devices, so it will be much more safer. And one very interesting key features and very unique from Vifinity, that we have a legacy applications port. In short, it is a SDK and a library file or DLL file that you can integrate to your legacy application and make it become web native support, so we can provision to our Vifinity workspace. Just imagine you have I don't know, maybe a VB6 program, not that old, maybe .NET application that you have developed for quite a long time, but you find it's not that easy to put on the cloud. We have a SDK that you can integrate, just a conversion of some interact with web browser, then make it natively can support by Vifinity, and then you can use it as a just look like a cloud application. Amazing, right? Not just desktop, because we are HTML5 clients. It means you can put it on the mobile phone, and also, as you can see, we support lots of different kind of MFA or single sign-on mechanism and 2FA. So we can integrate with Google, Azure, Okta, Duo, Jump Cloud, many others cloud directory or MFA solutions. So you can integrate with that. So you need not to worry that you have to reinvest or the MFA if you already got MFA solutions. You just integrate with that. If you don't have, well, you just like the TOTP with Google, then you need not extra cost, then you can have MFA before access Vifinity. So it just see how it looks in the mobile phone that you use. This is Microsoft, right? Then you can access from the mobile. Okay. So how can Vifinity help you to secure your network with all the remote access? First of all, we simplify the access with a single entry point. You need not to connect VPN before you connect RDP, or you need to do lots of authentication before access. You just authenticate on the Vifinity portal. Then we provide some MFA, and we can integrate with your AD user, and we enforce the permission based on the user groups and apps. And very interesting point is some not applied to Singapore yet, but in some Europe, especially European country, they have quite strict what to say is labor laws. Is illegal to overtime working for users. So it also is responsible for the employer. So you cannot say, oh, I don't know, the employee he want to check their email after work office hour. No, cannot. Some will be illegal to do that, to allow that. So you have to block the access. But they may work from home. So how it works is we limit the working hours in Vifinity, Okay, during the office hours, you can remote your email, we can remote your productivities applications, but after working hour, you sharply block it. Interesting, right? So that's one of the access control that we can do. Of course, we can control where you connect from. Maybe someone today is traveling to other country. We can add it in for that user. Okay. Otherwise, it's no point to allow people already still in Singapore. You allow them access from South Africa. It shouldn't work, right? So you may argue for VPN, but that we can integrate. But as I said, we didn't need a VPN at all. But some still working it, then we can integrate and cope with the VPN and with some policy configuration. But anyway, you shouldn't allow people to randomly select regions or using those. But anyway, yeah, so it's not a problem. And we can approve, we have an approval workflow for temporary and privileged access. It means for certain application or certain, or maybe just over time, you may enable an approval process that we can temporarily allow access for certain application. For example, if IT people shouldn't allow to access the accounting software anyway, but they may need to troubleshoot or try out some repeating some problem from the user, that you can temporarily allow Peter to access the accounting software for a certain period of time. And because we have a and because we use the HTTPS to tunnel off your connection and data, so we simplify your network. You need not to worry about the routing. You know about open the ports. Just like if you're using VPN and RDP, you have to consider, first of all, you allowed RDP, and when you after VPN was a subnet, is there any lateral movement there? Then you need not to worry too much, because all the connection from us is HTTPS. After that, you just isolate from the, so you can adopt the network segmentation very easily. Strongly recommend only turn on TLS 1.3, not SSL, not older TLS, because most of the browser, most of the OS nowadays should be able to handle TLS 1.3. Yeah, of course, there is still some very old legacy computers that cannot use TLS. What should you do? You just put it behind Infinity. Then in the front, you are still using TLS. Okay. For example, you got a very legacy web-based application developed by maybe ASP. Yeah, which is maybe a dinosaur, but there are certain reason, maybe there's too large deployment, you are not able to convert to much more modern application or platform. But I think you're still able to run ASP for solution OS. Yeah, but anyway, it may not support TLS 1.3, then we can use Infinity to convert the connections. And also, we have a certain protection from the network control. So we have some IDS capability in our front-end server. So at the end of the day, we still need to allow users to access, to log in to the system. That means they still a port, they're open. People, hackers may try. So we do some brute force detection. We do some attack control or detection. Well, of course, you should enable geo-IP filtering. You should providing IP whitelist or balist. Well, some customer in that point will do some cloud VPN or private VPN before connect to Infinity. Yeah, but that is all not necessary. But you just feel safer. Or you already got cloud VPN there, why not integrate? Yeah, why not? Yeah, so you can only allow the IP address that already connect to your cloud VPN. Any than that, no one can access. Of course, if internal network, you can still use Vivinity to filter out the natural movement, isolate your important access from those the user, because it's not necessary to be people work remotely to connect through Vivinity. You can make it outside of your server farm or your server network. Everyone should go for Vivinity. That can be more secure, right? Also, we provide real-time monitoring, so you can see all the sections, you can see all the activities of the user in real time, and we have comprehensive report to showcases all of your activities for the user and behavior. And we got some UEBA, so we can analyze as a user how long it takes, how long they use the software, who is accessing in midnight, and also we got some security auditing to filter out all the like password fail or password reset or any other security related events. So you have a comprehensive security audit report, maybe for the auditor, maybe you need to review, or you find something suspicious, then you can dig into the security audit trials. Well, let me give you some quick simple demo first. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much. Well, this is very simple and quick demo. Give me a few seconds. It just show you how the I would say how the login process work and how it looks and feel for Finidity. Yeah. Yeah, so yes, okay. So go to full screen and then we can take a look. Yeah, so it's very simple. You can launch a browser, then you type in username and password or do single sign-on. Then after that, you can see the main screen for the user. You will see all the the desktop, Office Mac, SharePoint files. So this is application, this is desktop, this is a Mac computer, this is a website, internal web, and also the files. So we can provision different kind of stuff that you want to expose to the user remotely, and there's a terminal access. So if you got some legacy application like AS400, you still can put it on the cloud through Vivinity. Yeah, so this is the desktop that you can use it as a normal desktop. There's no difference at all, and we convert into a HTML5 to stream, so the performance shouldn't be a problem. I would say not much different from RDP itself. So this is how it look. And application, okay, no, I shouldn't jump too much. So for desktop application, if in case you don't want to expose the full desktop, you may only want to expose certain application, and this is very typical for third parties. Like in case you outsource the firewall configuration, you may just to let them to access your terminal or the web to certain firewall, or maybe some application that you can consolidate it within that area. They don't need to access your desktop, that you avoid they try to do something they think is interesting, but it's not good for security, right? So or of course Excel. Yeah, maybe some accounting people just using the Excel and also the accounting software. Why we should expose all the stuff, right? Yeah, and also we can provision the files, which is sitting on your file server that you can link up with Infinity. You can open it up, download it, upload, edit. Yeah, we can call the application we provision also to open it up. Like demo here, so you can download the soft file, you can upload the file. Yeah, and you can do analysis. So this is the user side analysis, what the history of that. Yeah. So you can go back to desktop. So that's how the Infinity client side works. Get back to the slides. So this is one I already mentioned. I think we can go to a little bit more on this. So so for terminal, because for some user they still have AS400 or other mainframe computer, they still need to use the terminal to access it. But in the era of work from home or remote office, that can be the headache, right? So we allow you to provision the terminal or animations to through Infinity. So user need not to install the terminal from their desktop. We just share the terminal to them when they log into Infinity, or maybe on the application server, maybe on their own desktop. So you just expose the terminal, they can use it as they were sitting in the office. So those ISP I can pass. Okay. So last but not least is I think is one of the very interesting part, very unique uh, from Vivinity. So we have a SDK or DLL libraries. So you can integrate your existing software, even Froxpo, right? Froxpo is very Asian solutions, but I do I do know few customers still using Froxpo, but doesn't matter, it works, right? So it integrates with Froxpo, VB6, C Sharp, Python, SS, or the MFC, uh, VB.NET. So you can just integrate it and then make it natively support on the cloud and can provision full Infinity. So of course you can expose it as a desktop application, but then you have some problem on that. You will not work at all with those directly exposed. Then you can consider integrate with our SDK. Then we can convert the interface front end to the more web user friendly. Then will make it works online. So you can provision through the Infinity workspace and make it more smooth. Of course, you do need to have source code and able to got someone help you to compile the software. Yeah. So so the Infinity empower you transit your web solutions to SaaS and yeah. So make it image available and visibility. So yeah, that's all from today. So in short, so Infinity provide a easy to use and easy to provision remote access solutions. The front side, you are using HTML5. The backend, we still use RDP, HTTP, and SMB, but you can isolate those protocol within your server farm. So you need not to worry that someone easily abuse your RDP. And also actually SMB also is very one of the headache, right? So it can consume those protocol within the server farm, and we support easy to use MFA. We can have granular user permissions, including the source IP, geographic location, when they access, and who can access what. So that's a really short introduction for Finfinity to help you tackle what it problematic RDP and also SMB actually. Yeah, so is there any questions from you guys? So so far I don't see question yet. So I think there's quite typical questions user will ask: is it a cloud solution? Is it an on-prem solutions? By default, Finfinity is a software, so you can include the Windows is on-prem solutions. But of course, you can put it on your private cloud or public cloud. It will work as you want. And we have a multiple server role, so we can support small to very large scales. So for SME, the single server is far from enough, because we just handle the protocol conversion from RDP and HTTP to HTTP to you, so it won't be a problem. So one question is one on Windows Server. Well, will we work on 203? Yes, but you cannot put Finfinity on the Windows 203. How it works is you install a newer Windows as a Finfinity server, and then the backend you can 203, even Windows 2000. Well, I will say even NT will work as long as you got RDP protocol. Yeah. So because we connect your original server with your standard protocol. There's nothing new from the point of view your old server. But the front side, we translate the protocol from RDP to HTTPS and provide MFA and also for security measures. So the user connect with browser and Finfinity connect your 203 server with RDP. So it will works in short. Yeah, but please don't try to install Finfinity to 203 server. It won't work. Yeah, you have to a separate server to host the Finfinity. Yeah, of course, in other way, if you got more newer OS, you want to install to the same computer, yes, but not recommend. We still recommend you put in separate server. Yeah. So, any other questions? Yeah, of course, it is bring to like Win XP, all maybe all Linux, all work. Yeah. Even we support AS400, right? How is it? As a terminal, even not SSH. So it works. Yeah, no problem. For most of the modern client application, it also works like Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Yeah, and there's one more question about the video meetings, the Zooms and Teams. As I mentioned, we support the video and audio pass-through, so you can actually you can have meetings through the browser, and the meeting is happening, the Zoom or the Teams is happening on your desktop. But as I said, yeah, it is do having such kind of requirements in the works. Yeah. For the GPU, someone asked about GPU. I think you mean for those heavy graphics applications. Well, because it it depends. If you have your own VDI, you have GPU, or your own desktop have GPU, it doesn't matter because it happens and runs on your own hardware. It's not that we handle by the Infinity. But if you want to pay back a video, or you need to, for example, you could play games, well, there will be a refresh rate problem. So it will, I would say it works, but not as smooth as you directly access it. So like some application, you do need a very high refresh rate, like some 3D design software, more or less will be a little bit delayed. So it depends. Yeah. So for GPU, it's not a problem, but the refresh rate is a problem because we are not a real one. We still need to stream it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Seems no other questions. So, if you got any questions, please contact us. I think you should able to identify one or two ourselves, or you just send to our general support in case you need a PowerPoint or you want a trial. We'll very happy to talk with you to assess your case, to provide maybe POC, maybe a trial, or we can have a more detailed demo sections. Yeah, because sometimes we need some preparation for the server. But anyway, yeah, that's all for today. Thank you very much for all you guys for attentions. Yeah, this time is just right. Yeah, if you got any further questions, just email us. Yeah, that's all for today. Thank you. Bye bye.